YouTube, what's going on? It's preaching. So today is the January the 4th. Celebrated my little birthday yesterday, January the 3rd. I picked up a load on Sunday from Jacksonville, Florida, going down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's like 300 something miles. So the total trip was 500 miles was the total trip that paid me $1,000. When I do my trips, I'm just not going to tell you the miles that they paying for. That don't make no sense because you still got to travel to the place where you're going to pick up at to. I count every mile that my truck runs. It's what I it's what I count. So I count all my miles. So if this truck move, I count it. So if you want to look at it, it was like 306 miles. It paid $1,000 if you want to look at it like that. Okay, but by the time the miles it took me to get there, it made it up to 500 miles. A little bit under 500, it's like 400 and something miles. But I just rounded it up to 500. So it's 500 miles at 1,000. The way that I run my business is I include all my operating costs. Okay, so it doesn't matter what you have. You have an operating cost, total cost. I don't care where you put the money in the category, it still goes to your operating cost of running your business. So if you have truck payments, that's just one particular category of your operating costs. If you don't have truck payments, and say you have a lot more maintenance because you have an older truck, that's still operating costs. It's just going into maintenance. Okay, that's the only difference. So it don't matter if you have a payment every week. It don't matter if you have a payment every month. It still goes to operating costs. So a lot of people doing this and talk about having a truck payment versus not having a truck payment. It doesn't matter. All the money is going to operate in your business. It's just a different category of where the money goes. You still got to track the money. So it doesn't matter. It's called operating costs. The problem is you have so many people who's ready to start a trucking company and a trucking business and never ran the business, never did P&Ls before, never did spreadsheets, used spreadsheets, and they just going off of stuff from YouTube University. But when you then rent a business like me for 19 years, doing P&Ls, doing budgets, doing declining budgets, doing performance, you know what the dealio is. Okay, it's operating costs. This is how much it's costing me per month to operate my business. And this is how much money I have left after I done paid all the bills in all my operating costs. That's why it's called a profit and loss statement. Okay, so it don't matter where the money is going. Okay, it's still going to operate in your business, which is called operating costs, because that's the cost to operate your business. Money you have left over is there, and for the 6 weeks, I started November the 10th. So from November the 10th to the end of December, I took the whole Christmas week off. So it still was like 7 weeks, but 6 weeks of actually getting out here and working. All right. So if I do all that time up until the end, I did over $30,000 in 6 weeks worth of working. It's what I did, and I was basically trying to get my handles on everything. I started off with a contract, and I have another one now kind of, sort of. Okay, it's not signed on paper, but it's more of a verbal that I'm gonna do it. He's gonna have the loads available. So that's where that is. And the total miles for those two loads is 590 miles. Let's say 600 miles. It's the total for those two loads. Total miles, period. It's 600 miles. So that's pretty good because those 600 miles is going to pay me $1,400 for those 600 miles that I'm going to be doing. So just on the 4 loads that I got, guaranteed loads that I got. Well, the second one is not really guaranteed just yet. He's basically trying me out, but I pretty much will have it. But just on those 4 loads, that brings me up to $5,000 a week. Just on those 4 loads, and then whatever load that I could pick up, a little short haul on Friday, because my last load I deliver at 8 o'clock in the morning, Friday morning. So I still got all day Friday to find one more load before I take Saturday and Sunday off. That delivers also on Friday. So I'm trying to pick up a load Friday morning that also delivers on Friday. Or if it delivers Saturday morning, I'm kind of fine with that too. You know, it's not a biggie. I don't have to really work on Friday if I don't want to, because I got my 5,000 that my business needs for the miles that I run. And again, I run anywhere from 2,800 miles a week to 3,100 miles a week. This week I ended with 2,900 miles, and the week prior to that, before Christmas, the week I took off, I did 3,300 miles. All right, but that Christmas week, before the Christmas week, that paid those 3,300 miles paid me 6,800, and then this 2,900 mile paid me $6,000 for this week that I just did. And again, I do my total miles. If this truck move, I include the miles because the truck is spending money when it's moving, so it has to be making money. So I don't get on here and be like, hey, you know, I got this on so many amount of miles and this on so much, and nobody's saying how many miles they had to deadhead to get that load though. Okay, because I have had to deadhead 200 miles before to get a load. The load still pay good, and it covered those deadhead miles, but sometimes you got to go. You know, you can go 100 miles, 150 miles. Most times I go anywhere between 100 to 150 miles to deadhead to get the load that I am. But I'm in Florida, and I knew that getting in. Like I said, my business is wrapped around the Florida market. I don't know where your market is and what's doing in your market, but in the Florida market, that's how my business is set up to be ran in the Florida market with the Florida rates. So like I keep saying, if you've been trucking and you've been booking your loads, you know how the rates is in Florida. So to get over 5,000 plus a week, 4 days of work in Florida, it's pretty good. Okay, that's pretty good. You averaging over $1,000 a day, pretty much. Is what you average. And like I said, I'm home 5 nights a week, and off Saturdays and Sundays. Occasionally, I had to deliver a load Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, but then by the time I get back home, it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning still. So to work an extra 2 hours is not a biggie, especially if I don't have nothing going on. If I do have something going on, I don't have to do a load on Friday. You know, once I deliver this load 8 o'clock Friday morning, I'm done for the rest of the week. I can take the rest of Friday off, take all Saturday off, take all Sunday off, get back on Monday, and do it all over again, and be just fine. So, but this year, at least I'm starting off with these here 2 contracts, and I have these particular lanes in the times. That's the other thing. I have the times that I pick up these loads down pat. Now, all my loads that I do, it's always an open window for pickup and an open window for delivery. Okay, I do that because number one, I have an older truck. I never know what's really going to happen, but I want to satisfy the customer. So this gives me time to, if something was happen, I can get it fixed and continue on to deliver my load on the same day. So that's how I do when I'm picking my loads. I always try to make sure that it's an open window for as pickup time go, so that way I don't have to worry about being late as well. I got plenty of time to get there as well. So, when you setting up your business plan, set up a business plan that's going to fit you and your needs. And when you're doing the numbers, really do the numbers, so that way because one of the main key is you want to make the same amount of money, but you want to run less to make that money. Okay, that's the key to the game. You want to run less to make the particular amount of money. In my market, it's hard to do. Okay, I can get a load that goes up there to Georgia that pays $700, $800. Get a load from the same city that I just delivered to in Georgia, come back to the same city that I picked up in Florida, and then get paid $2,500, $2,600 because I'm in a different state. See, that's a big difference. So anytime that I want to make over my $5,000 mark, I would have to actually go out of the state of Florida to do that, and I have a day cab, and I have to stay at a hotel and things like that. So it really doesn't make a lot of sense for me to do that now. Now, like I said, I am still looking at getting this truck. So I'm getting a Kenworth T680 or a T660. They are 2016. The one that's automatic, the one that's a stick. I can care less which one. Y'all want to debate all that, that's y'all. Y'all want to prove something to somebody else about something, that's y'all. It don't matter. I have a 9-speed right now. Okay, it doesn't matter to me if it's a stick or if it's an automatic. It really don't. It really don't. Because both, you got air that goes to your transmission for both. So even if something, air, talking about where the air that pushes it, well, you got air that pushes it on the 9-speed too. No, it's not pushing the gears, but you still can have air problems on your transmission. I had to change 2 fittings of the air that goes to my transmission. So to me, it's not a big thing at all. Plus, I can work on my truck myself too. So that's a little bit totally different. And normally when your transmission start to go, it just don't go. You know that it's starting to go. A gear will start working, things like that. So just fix your truck. Okay, when it breaks, just fix your truck. I try to follow my own advice. When this truck have problems, I just fix it. Luckily, I never had any big problems on the inside of the engine. It's solid. All my stuff being on the outside of the engine because it has all the original parts from 1999 when this thing was built. So, and I knew that going in. So that's why every month I'm putting in anywhere between $1,000 to $1,500 in this truck, changing out parts. For the 7 weeks that I had this truck, I have put in almost $2,700 that I put inside this truck. And then the most expensive thing was the fuel pump, because the fuel pump for this truck is like $1,100. That was the biggest thing. So I had to buy a new fuel pump because the other one was weak, especially trying to go over 61, 62 miles an hour. It got real weak. So that was the most expensive thing that I had to do on the truck, was the fuel pump. Everything else is just hoses and belts, and all that other kind of good stuff, but the fuel pump, that was the most expensive thing. Because like I said, the pump itself, just for the pump, was $1,100. So out of that, 2,800 thousand of that just was in the fuel pump, the part, and the rest of it just labor and hoses that I had to change out, wires, and all that kind of good stuff. So, but anyway, that was my outlook of my first month and a half of running this truck, which was pretty good. Like I said, it was pretty good. And right now, even with my contracts that I got, or agreed freight contract, and a agreed freight, just those 4 loads alone put me up at $5,000 a week. So that's $20,000 for the month. So anything else I get on Friday, or even I don't find nothing on Friday, there are loads that be on Sunday that I could deliver on Sunday, pick up on Sunday and deliver Monday, and still pick up my Monday load, and take it where I need to take it at. So there's still that potential for it to always be a little bit more, but at least I got a guaranteed $5,000. So that was my main thing, having a guaranteed $5,000. As long as I have that guaranteed money, I know I got, $20,000 for the month. My fuel been averaging in fuel anywhere from $8.50 to $11.50, depending on how fast I drive. Now, I have learned I need to drive a lot slower. Okay, it was sometimes where I was stretched for hours, so I was going like 70 miles an hour. And that week, it was 3 loads that I was doing like 70 miles an hour. And that week, I was up to 1,100 bucks in fuel. Okay, when I do my regular 65 miles per hour, okay, I'm at about $850 to $860 in fuel for the same miles. So that's a big difference. No, I don't do that every week. I just did it like that the week before Christmas. I did it because I had loads that I was doing and stuff, trying to get everything ready. So I did do it that week, and wound up paying another $300 in fuel for going 70, 71, 72 miles an hour. Normally I do about 65 miles an hour. Oh, and then the fuel is about between $850 and $900. Now that's not something I do every week. If I do that every week, that's an extra $1,200 going to fuel. So that doesn't make any business sense, especially when I have open windows to get to places. But that week I didn't have open windows. I still had open windows for my contracted freight that I got, but the other loads that I had getting up to that contracted freight wasn't open windows. I had appointments that I had to be there to get but one when I picked up the paper rolls from Riceboro. So I didn't have that to worry about. But that's how I've been doing it. That's that ends my year. So this year gonna be on the up and up. There's still a couple of things that I got to do to the engine. I'm thinking about just getting another computer for the truck, because that's an old computer too, and sometimes it acts up. Sometimes it twitches sometimes, and that's just a sign of it's getting ready to go, or it's an element or a circuit in it that either is corroded or it's about to go. So and I found a place down in Miami that actually have them, and they got them for $700. Or I could send mines down there, and then they will revamp mines and fix mines for like $450. I think he said like $450, but if I take it down there, it'll be a lot quicker that they can get it done. It's like a 2-3 day turnaround time, and then I can have to go back down there to pick it up again, or I can get one of theirs for $700, and I can get it the next day. So probably would just pay the $700, give them my old one, and just be done with it and put it on, because I can order it and I can have it down Friday. When I pick up my load on Friday, I just can go ahead and get it done, and I'm already home for the weekend, so my mechanic can throw it on there. He has the Cummins Insight to make to set all the parameters back and make sure it's turned back up like I like it turned all up and all my parameters. He can make sure that everything is set like I do it. So that's not something that I do. I just go ahead and let him do it and just pay him his $200 for doing it. He charges $95 an hour to get it done. So it's just like $200. So that'd be like basically another $1,000 that I would throw inside replacing my ECM. Now it's like I say, it's fine, but this video is already at 20 minutes. But when you're on the op, you have to take care of your equipment. You got to take care of your truck. So if you see that there's a problem there, or it may be an issue, address it. So I don't want to get stuck somewhere and the computer's totally shut down. Now I'm down and out. Now, because I have a 99. Okay. Cummins M14. Red top. Select Plus. I know a couple tricks to get around that computer to get me home if it does shut down. So I do know a couple tricks to do that. So no matter what, I'll be able to get back home. And basically, if it does go down, I have to do my little trick to get it done, and so I can deliver the load. And if that happens, I still can get it down, and then I will go down there to Miami myself and pick it up and bring it back so he can put it on the same day and I can be running, if that was to happen. But I don't think that happened. It's just one particular circuit that is. I'm not a computer guy, especially with these ECM. That's not my thing. He know all about it. He's like, don't worry about it. If you can deal with the glitch in it, you'll be fine. It's just when you first start up and it cycles through all the settings and the diagnostics, it just happens there. It doesn't happen after you cycle it and the ECM powers back up. It's just saying I have a low voltage sensor in it that is low, and even if that sensor go out, it's just going to make it a hard start for the truck. It's not going to shut the truck off. It's not going to stop the truck from performing. It just will make it a hard start. So if it's a hard start, you got to shoot it a couple times with a little ether to get it going, because the computer doesn't have the capacity that it needs to start the truck. I mean, that's the only thing. That's the worst case scenario. But if it happens, okay, and I get it started, then I just don't turn the truck off. As long as I don't turn the truck off, I'm fine. It still will perform the same. It still will have the same power. It just got that one little issue. But that's a $700, $1,000 fix, because he gonna make sure he charge taxes, which I am finna file to be tax exempt. So that way, anytime I buy anything or get work done on the truck, I don't pay taxes. So my CPA is filing that this year, so I can become tax exempt and not pay any taxes when I buy stuff for the truck, and I can get my paperwork for all that particular stuff too. So, all right, that was the my update for the end of the year for my last couple months, month and a half of riding with my own business. It's been fun. It's been stressful. Yeah, it was a time that I've just felt like, man, I do not want to deal with this, because after these little breakdowns, parts, $38 for one part had me broke down. Another part, $86 for another part that had me broke down. I'm like, man, what is this little stuff? You're like, man, this part don't even cost $100, and then it takes like not even 10 minutes to take the old one off and put the other one. My last one cost 68 cents for one screw that hold my air governor. So the air governor was loose, so it was causing my air dryer not to work, because it was loose. That one screw broke. So since it broke, 68 cents for it. I was still able to get it out, but it had broke. So it's like 68 cents for it. I'm like, man, but what I had to do was on one of my air tanks, I got the air tank valve. So what I did was I opened the air tank valve up like 1/4 of the way. So it was letting the air out. So that way my pressure remained the same while I was on the while messing on the gas. So that way it doesn't build up that much pressure. But it still had over 130 psi. But it wasn't gonna go over 140 because I had the air valve on my secondary tank open up, letting the air out. So I did that for like 100 miles to get home because nobody was gonna have that screw. Okay, you call out somebody on the side of the road, they don't have that screw. It's one of those type of screws that they don't have. So I just would have been stuck and call out somebody for it. So it's easier for me just to go ahead and just fix the problem myself, just make it work so I can go the 100 miles to get home. And in the morning I went to the hardware store and got the screw that I needed, screwed it on. I think I showed y'all the video with that. Did I did the video? I think I did the video with that. Yeah, it was like 68 cents. I'm like, man, well, look, so yeah, you get frustrated when little stuff like that goes wrong, but you take one lick and you keep on ticking. Anyway, this has already been long enough, man. It's been 26. I hope y'all go ahead and reach the goals that y'all set for yourself for this here new year. Okay, and yes, jumping out here and doing stuff on your own, is it challenging? Yes, but it can be done. All right, it can be done if you have the right people there helping you. Okay, and going on YouTube University for everything, it's good to get a good idea, but okay, you need to find some serious people that can help you with things, especially with stuff that you don't know. Okay, pay that money for stuff that you don't know. Just pay it. That's what I did. I mean, I pay it, and then for the first year I used them, and then I learned from them, and then after that I don't have to worry about using them no more. Okay, I just chop it up to start up business expenses. That's one thing. Just chop it up for that. All right, man. I'll talk to y'all later, man. Stay motivated.